Hey guys, we're back. We're gonna do another video on kind of old style meals. Um this is from Vintage Britain and it is 10 classic meals of the British working man. I'm excited. I really enjoy these types of videos. Hopefully you guys do as well. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see some more of these. But yeah, let's get it going. Also, I will link this video in the description so you can check it out as well.
In old Britain, food was all about simplicity, substance, and getting you through a hard day's work. In the working class homes of Britain, the kitchen wasn't just a place to eat, it was a lifeline. Meals were built from what you had, stretched across days, and flavoured by necessity rather than
Julia.
choice. In this video, we're taking a nostalgic journey back through 10 old British working class meals, simple, filling, and full of history. Stay until the end, you might just rediscover a dish your nan used to make, or one you'd completely forgotten about. Number 1. Bubble and Squeak. This brilliantly named dish is as British as it gets. Born from the need to use up leftovers, Bubble and Squeak is traditionally made from the remains of a Sunday roast, especially potatoes and cabbage. The ingredients are mashed together and fried until crispy on the outside. The name comes from the sound it makes in the pan, bubbling and squeaking as it cooks.
I
But
love
Bubble and
cabbage, and
Squeak
I'm
is
the
more
only
than
person
just a
in my house
recycling
that
trick.
does, and
In
everybody
working class
complains about the
households,
smell.
it often served as a full meal on Mondays, stretching the budget while making sure nothing went to waste. Some families added bits of meat if
It
any
looks
were left over,
delicious.
while others kept it strictly vegetarian. What made it special wasn't the ingredients, but the ritual of reusing, reheating, and making something comforting from very little. Today, it's often overlooked, but back then, it was a weekday staple. Number 2. Liver and onions. A true classic of the British kitchen, liver and onions was both affordable and packed with
This is something that used to be popular here as well. You don't really see it. We do, because I'm in the South, so we have a lot of kind of like old style. I would say they're like diners, but it's kind of like they call them like country cooking kitchen type places. And you could go in and get a bunch of meals that are incredibly unhealthy, but like super comforting. And 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be more elderly people that go. I love it, but liver and onions is one of the dishes that usually shows up on the menus there. I think it's something my mom had when she was a kid, and she didn't like it, so it wasn't something that she ever made for me. So I've honestly never had it, and I have no want to try it.
nutrients. Liver, especially from lamb or beef, was inexpensive and available at every butcher's shop. Fried gently with sliced onions and sometimes served with mash or gravy, it was a dish that filled the belly and didn't break the bank. It was very popular because of its practicality. Liver is rich in iron and vitamins, which made it ideal for families with growing children or hard-working adults. It was also quick to prepare, which suited busy households where time and money were both in short supply. Though its taste might be divisive today, it was once a regular presence at the dinner table. It was the sort of dish many kids grew up with, whether they liked it or not. To many, the
Do
smell
you
of
all still
onions
eat that a
sizzling
lot
with
over
liver
there?
is a direct
Let me
ticket
know.
back to their childhood kitchen. Number 3. Lancashire hot pot. Few dishes are as closely tied to the working class roots of northern England as Lancashire hot pot. Built from humble ingredients, lamb or mutton, onions and sliced potatoes, it was a no-frills meal with a big personality. Originating in the county's industrial towns, it became a household staple during times when money was tight and
Potatoes look
stomachs
good.
needed filling. The beauty of a hot pot was in how it layered flavour. The meat, often from cheaper cuts, became wonderfully tender beneath the weight of onions and thinly sliced potatoes. As it baked, the juices from the meat soaked into the potatoes below, turning them soft and rich, while the top layer browned into a crisp, savoury crust. Every bite offered something different,
I would try it.
meaty, starchy, slightly sweet from the onions. Families often made do with what they had on hand.
I love cooked
Some added carrots,
onions. I'm
others
sorry,
kidney,
well, I like cooked
or even
onions too, but
leftover
cooked
vegetables
carrots
from
with
the
like
week.
a gravy.
There was no strict recipe, just a general sense of how to turn a few basics into something warm and deeply satisfying. It was a social dish too, something that brought families together around one big pot, warming both hands and hearts. Number 4, bread and dripping. It doesn't get much simpler than bread and dripping. For generations of British working-class families, this was more than just a snack. It was a resourceful way to make the most of every last bit of food. After roasting beef, the leftover fat, known as dripping, was collected, cooled, and spread thick onto slices of crusty bread. Some people sprinkled salt and pepper on top, others enjoyed it as it was. It was eaten for breakfast, lunch.
I can see.
Your father
Sorry. I can see
knows about
this being like more of a thing back then when you were really trying to get your like fat and nutrients, like your fat in, really. Whereas like now, especially in the US, I feel like everything you eat is just full of fat, so you really don't want as much unless it's like good fat, like avocados or something. But yeah, I can see where this had its like place back then, whereas now it would be needed, I suppose.
Struck between meals. Bread and dripping was especially popular in the North and Midlands, where Sunday roasts were common and nothing ever went to waste. In a time before ready meals and supermarkets on every corner, using dripping was a practical way to stretch food further. It kept families going through tough times and became a kind of comfort food that stuck with people for life. Though it's fallen out of fashion today, sometimes viewed as too fatty or old-fashioned, those who grew up with it often speak about it with warmth. For them, it's not just about the taste, but the memories. Number 5, boiled potatoes with vinegar and butter. In an age before endless sauces and ready meals, boiled potatoes were a kitchen mainstay. Cheap, versatile and filling, they often appeared on dinner plates across the UK. One variation that stood out in working-class homes was serving them simply with vinegar and butter. The potatoes were boiled until soft, then drained and tossed in a generous knob of butter and a splash of malt vinegar. The result was a warm, tangy and rich side,
I have to try
or
that
even a
because I
main
really love
dish.
vinegar and
It
stuff.
might sound plain, but for many this was the taste of home. For families with little time and even less money, this
I think it
simple
would be good.
combination was a lifesaver. Vinegar gave the potatoes a lift, and butter added that necessary indulgence. It was quick, satisfying, and made from ingredients every home had in the cupboard. Even today, a single bite can bring back memories of modest dinners that filled the belly and brought comfort at the end of a long day. Number 6, beans on toast. Perhaps one of the most iconic British meals ever, beans on toast was, and still is.
So guys, I've never had this. I do love beans, especially this kind of the closest thing that I think we typically have to this is probably like baked beans, although I know it's not like a tomato sauce that's in it, but like kind of just this style of bean. We love baked beans here in this house. But I do actually have a can of Heinz beans, uh, which isn't something that we typically have in grocery stores or anything. I had picked it up at World Market a while ago, and I've been wanting to try it. I just kind of forget about it, and my son wants to try it as well. So I might do a video of us trying the Heinz beans on toast. Um, because I think I, for one, would really enjoy it. I don't know about my son. Like I said, he does like baked beans a lot, and he has been wanting to try this. So hopefully, we can do a video maybe next week or next weekend, and we'll finally try this.
An essential comfort food. But for the working class, it was more than just a quick bite. It was cheap, fast, and nutritious. A can of baked beans, warmed up and poured over toast, created a meal that could feed a whole family in minutes. For families watching every penny, it was a reliable solution that didn't require much planning or effort. Beans on toast was especially important in homes where both parents
So do you
worked long
do
hours or money
butter
was tight.
too, and
It
then
didn't
put the
take long
beans
to
on, or do you
prepare,
just do
there was no
beans?
chopping,
Let
no
me know.
fancy cooking, just a tin, a pan and a couple slices of bread. It required no special skills and even kids could make it. It was warm, filling and familiar, exactly what you wanted after a long day. Though still eaten today, it rarely holds the same meaning as it did during tougher times. Number 7. Corned beef hash. Corned beef hash was another
Love
brilliant way
corned
to
beef.
stretch ingredients and
Again,
feed hungry
only
mouths.
person in my family.
Made with tinned corned beef, diced potatoes
I
and
almost bought
onions,
some
it
this
was all
week to do
fried
some
together
corned
into
beef
a
and
crispy
cabbage.
golden mix. Sometimes a fried egg was added on top, or pickles on the side. It was a humble meal, but one that felt hearty and satisfying after a long day's work. What made
I've never
corned
had
beef
this
hash so
corned beef
popular
hash,
was its
but it looks
convenience.
delicious.
Everything could be cooked in one pan, making for an easy clean-up and fast meal. It was a favourite for quick evening dinners when there was little time or energy to spare. Leftovers could be reheated the next day, eaten cold straight from the fridge, or even used as a tasty filling for sandwiches. In many ways, it was the great equaliser. No matter your
Eggs look
background or where you
perfect.
lived in the UK, chances are you've come across corned beef hash at some point in your life. And for some, it still beats any fancy takeaway. Number 8. Beef stew with dumplings. A rich beef stew filled with
Yeah,
root
this looks
vegetables slow
good.
cooked for hours and topped with fluffy sweet dumplings. That's the kind of meal that got families through the coldest
We don't
winters.
have this. We have
Tough
like
cuts of
chicken
meat
and
like shin
dumplings,
or
which is really
chuck were
good.
used
My mom
because
used
they
to
were
make that a
cheaper,
lot, but
but
I
after
think this would
hours
be
of
really good.
simmering with carrots, onions and turnips, they turned tender and flavourful. The dumplings, made from flour and suet, puffed up on top of the stew, soaking in
I
the
think my
juices.
great
It was
grandparents
hot,
used to
hearty and
have a
nourishing.
dish with
A pot could
turnips.
feed a family for days,
I don't
and leftovers were
I
often
don't
better the
remember
next
whether I
day.
like it or not, to be
In a
honest.
time before central heating, a bowl of beef stew was sometimes the warmest part of the day. Number 9. Toad in the hole. This oddly named
Seen this
dish
one
is a
before.
British treasure. Sausages baked in a Yorkshire pudding batter. It's a dish that's simple, hearty, and unmistakably nostalgic. The sausages sizzle in the oven as the batter rises around them, forming golden, crispy edges and a soft centre. The smell of it cooking would often fill the whole house, signalling that a warm, satisfying meal was ready to be enjoyed. Toad in the hole was a favourite in working-class homes because it made a few sausages go a long way. The batter was cheap to make, and the whole meal could be prepared in one dish. It was a satisfying, affordable meal that felt like a treat. For many kids, it was their first real taste of proper food. While the origins of the name are unclear, the love for the dish has always been strong. Over time, it became more than just a meal. It became a symbol of home cooking and family dinners where simple ingredients turned into something special. Its charm lies in how it transforms everyday sausages into a crispy, fluffy feast that could feed a crowd without costing a fortune. Number 10. Faggots and gravy. This traditional British dish might not be as well known today, but it was once a staple on working-class tables. Faggots are small, flavourful meatballs made from minced pork offcuts and herbs. Faggots were popular because they used cuts of meat that might otherwise have gone to waste. turning humble ingredients into something hearty and satisfying. The gravy added moisture and depth, making each bite comforting and warm.
What is
Many
it?
families
Oh,
paired this
mashed
dish with
peas.
mashed potatoes and peas. Though the name might raise eyebrows today, the dish itself was deeply embedded in British food culture. Homemade or bought from the butcher, they were hearty, warming, and full of character.
Whoa.
So,
Those
which
are
of these
wild
meals
looking.
do you remember? Let me know in the comments below if you've tried any of these classic.
That was a good video. Interesting. A lot of it looked really good. Really good. And I'm super hungry now. It's about 11:45 a.m. here, and I haven't ate yet. I've been up since about 7:30. I've had like 2 cups of coffee, and it's getting time for me to make something to eat for lunch. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. I really kind of like watching these vintage meals. Hopefully you guys do too. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more of these, or if you don't like them so much. Let me know either way, and I hope you guys have a great day. Please check out my Patreon. I have a bunch of videos over there that aren't anywhere else. So if you have seen all of my content and you want more, go over there, check it out. Yeah, thank you guys. Have a great day.